All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, as you guys can see, we do have the A6 back on the lift. So to kind of recap over the last couple of days of work, me and James were able to go ahead and get the beams motor already sitting inside. I did order the excessive subframe spacers, motor mounts, and transmission mount. So for right now, the beams motor is in the car. The transmission is still sitting off to the side. That is the next thing that needs to be put on. But as of right now, we're having some clearing issues on the transmission tunnel. So plan for that is probably gonna go with a manual rack as opposed to power steering. Even though I can still kind of use the power steering rack, I figured it'll be just a lot easier and less of a headache to just go with the manual rack. So I'm on the market for that one, but almost every company that sells one, they're all sold out. Other than the transmission going in, the next plan of attack for the day is to go ahead and pretty much remove this whole entire quarter panel, or at least section it off to where we can get the majority of the damaged section off, which is pretty much gonna probably start like right here over the wheel well, and then probably like an inch lower of this body line all the way across. I did pick up an A6 hatch shell for a couple $100, which I essentially just bought it for this corner anyways, but it has a lot of usable metal on it, so I'm probably gonna keep it around for a little while. So that's actually gonna be the plan of attack for today, just to at least get this all said and done. Now, the future of the Corolla at this point seems kind of uncertain because the car may be possibly, hopefully never, for sale. For the simple fact that I am in the process of buying a house when I do move to Alaska. The Corolla is probably gonna be what kind of gives me the funding for that. I'm trying my best to pretty much keep the car to where I don't have to do that, but a worst possible case situation, the car is probably gonna be for sale. And it will come, obviously, you know, full rolling chassis with the beam swap already in it and A6 hatchback shell. So again, like I said, I don't want to sell the car. And as of right now, I'm doing all the work on the car, like for me, because I'm planning on keeping it. So everything in the rear is kind of already gutted out. So I can go ahead and pretty much clean everything. But for the most part, we're gonna start off with the back piece. If you guys remember when I bought the car, this rear passenger tail light had a big hole in it that had a beehive that stung the hell out of me when I first bought it. When I bought the shell, I used the newer model, the cookie tail light setup, and I put it on this, which in my opinion looks pretty badass. I like the way it looks a little bit better. So that was already on. I kind of had to drill 2 extra holes right here in the bottom, one on each side, just to fit it on. Here's my boy Kimo. Say what's up, Kimo.
Yeah, how's it going?
He's out here helping us for the day. He's gonna learn a little bit about the Corolla. So, yeah. But other than that, when I bought the motor mounts, I did not buy the actual bushings that the company offers. So this is not the final time that this motor is gonna be put in. This is just put the motor in, put the transmission in, get it. So therefore, the car is ready for transport for when I do go to Alaska. I can just haul it as it. When we get to Alaska, actually pull it back out and do it a little bit better, I guess. So yeah, so for right now, we're gonna jump back on that quarter panel. So yeah, let's get on that. So this is the cut of how the Corolla looked like. There's a few pieces like down here that's all rusted out that we're gonna have to pretty much section off the spare. Probably this piece right here as well. For the most part, I went and go ahead and just kind of pressure wash the inside. All right, so we have the spare shell on the lift. I didn't film us taking it off the trailer because it was kind of a bit of a process and it wasn't really interested in to begin with. So the plan for tomorrow is gonna be pretty much go ahead and take this panel. Pretty much we're gonna just like take the window off and pretty much just cut the whole section off. We're not gonna be as nice with it. We're not gonna take our time. We're pretty much gonna cut it off or whatever. Hopefully, Kimo comes through tomorrow and helps out again. Appreciate the help for today. We were able to get the quarter panel off the shell. We made a couple more holes than what we wanted to. We also cut a lot more extra metal on the quarter panel than what we really need. Therefore, we can cut it down to size or whatever. My wheel well on my car is still a little bit banged up, so I might either try to pull it out or I might try to section this part off and put it on my car along with this bottom piece here because mine is all rusted out. So still some salvageable metal on the shell. But as of right now, I feel like I've gotten as much as I probably am gonna need off this car. So the car will probably be getting scrapped here soon. So an update on the BRZ. Last time we took it out drifting and we did like a little bit of a test and tune day. The motor that I picked up a couple months ago started knocking. I was at the part, I was like, you know what, like, do I just go ahead and pull the car out or pull the motor out, call it quits on the FA20? But I was able to find an FA20 out of a 2018 WRX, which allegedly only had like about 15,000 miles on it. The guy bought a stage 2 block and he assembled it using his factory heads and intake and all that. So he had a short block, his original short block for sale. So I picked that up. I just got the new gasket set for the motor, so I'm pretty much going to take everything off this, heads, intake, accessories, pulleys, etc., everything off this motor, throw it onto the new block, throw it in the car. And I don't know, I mean, being that it was from WRX, it was from a OEM, pretty much boosted from the factory. That block should hold a lot better than the stock FA20 from the BRZ FRS. So I don't know, I'll probably go back boost on this car. And if I do, I'll probably try to aim for a lot lower of a power band that I had last time, just so it could be a little bit more on the reliable and conservative side and last a little bit longer. So yeah, so right now that's pretty much coming here soon. Like I said, like I gotta start tearing this one apart, swap everything over onto the new block, and then get ready to drop that back in the car so I can at least get the BRZ run under home power. The BRZ might be staying here in Colorado later on the road. Once I get situated in Alaska, I might come back down and pick the car back up, and or just have someone ship it out to me and pretty much just have it hauled up there. So I'm not 100% sure yet. I know for sure I'm taking the Corolla with me. If I do keep it, the car will go with me. If I don't, obviously I'll take the BRZ with me, you know, so on, so be it. But yeah, so right now, I mean, like I said, that's kind of like a future pending video. Stay tuned for the FA20, pretty much rebuild. And then the original short block that's knocking, I'll probably go ahead and rebuild that motor and have it as a spare block for whenever I need it. So yeah, so right now, like I said, the shell is all torn down. Next thing's next is pretty much get the Corolla out of the garage, bring it back in the shop, throw the new panel on. So stay tuned.